remember the day the world started collapsing, not because of explosions or sirens, but because of the silence. Cities were always loud before. Engines, people, music through open windows, arguments in alleyways. Noise meant life was still moving. Then one morning, it simply stopped. Stores stayed closed. Power flickered. The air felt heavy, like the world itself was waiting for something terrible to finish happening. That was when I realized something simple. When rules vanish, people show who they truly are. Some people try to help, most people panic, and some people revealed a greed that was hiding in them all along. Those ones are the problem. My name does not matter much anymore. The few who know me call me the Queen of the Legion. That sounds larger than the truth, though. Right now, the Legion is only 3 people. Me, Nova, and Mina. But it will grow. It has to. I was standing on the edge of a half-collapsed parking structure when Nova found me. He looked up at me balancing on the guardrail and shook his head slowly. "You are going to fall one day," he said. I smiled down at him. I have been hearing that for a long time. Mina climbed the ramp behind him carrying a backpack twice the size she needed. She stopped when she saw me standing on the rail and covered her eyes dramatically. "Please stop doing that," she said. "One day you really are going to fall, and I will have to explain to people how the most powerful person I know died tripping." I stepped down from the rail carefully, then immediately tripped slightly on a crack in the concrete. Nova caught me by the shoulder before I actually fell. "You see," he said, "I brushed dust from my coat with a small embarrassed smile. That one did not count." Mina laughed. "You say that every time. We had been traveling together for a few weeks by then, long enough to trust each other, but not long enough for the world to feel stable again." The city below us was hollow now. Cars had abandoned in the streets. Windows were broken. Fires had burned themselves out days ago, leaving black scars across buildings. Nova leaned against the concrete wall, watching the streets. "Movement, 2 blocks north," he said. Mina and I joined him. 3 men were dragging crates from a small pharmacy. Their truck was parked sideways in the road like the enemy. Mina frowned, and no one would know the crates too. They were not careful with the crates. I tilted my head. "They are not taking it to help anyone." Mina looked at me. "No." We watched for another minute. Then one of the men kicked something near the doorway. A body. An older man lay beside the door of the pharmacy. Blood darkened the pavement around him. Mina inhaled sharply. "He was trying to protect his store," she said quietly. The man who kicked the body laughed and said something to the others. That was enough for me. I turned toward the stairwell. "Where are you going?" Mina asked. "To speak with him," I said. Mina said, "That means we are going to fight, probably." We reached the street a minute later. The men did not notice us immediately. They were too busy arguing over how many crates they could fit in their truck. I walked up calmly. "Excuse me." All 3 turned. The leader looked me up and down and laughed. "That was quick," he said. "People delivering themselves now." One of the others noticed Nova behind the insight. She never came to the other side for a very long time. "He wouldn't give us the keys." His friend laughed. Old man thought rules still existed. I nodded slowly. "I see." The leader stepped closer. "So, here are the new rules," he said. "You give us whatever you have, and we let you walk away." I smiled at him. "You misunderstand something." He frowned. "What?" I moved before he finished the word. His knife was already halfway out of his pocket when I stepped past him and took it. He blinked and looked down at his empty hand. The blade was in mine now. "How did you?" he started. I gently placed the knife on the hood of their truck. "You shouldn't steal things you don't need," I said. One of the other men raised a pistol. Nova moved. The pistol flew from the man's hand and clattered across the street. The 3rd man tried to run. Mina stepped in front of him. Her voice was calm but firm. "Do not run," she said. He didn't listen. She knocked him unconscious. The leader looked between the 3 of us, slowly realizing something was wrong. "You people crazy?" he said. "No," I replied. "Just patient." He rushed me with a shout, fists swinging toward my face. I stepped sideways. He stumbled past me. I tapped his shoulder gently, and he spun around again. Try again, I told him. His face turned red with anger. He swung again. I leaned back slightly, and his fist missed by inches. The second man tried to grab the knife from the truck. I kicked the door closed, trapping his hand painfully. He screamed. Nova simply stared at him. Bad choice, he said. The leader attacked again wildly. I stepped around him once more, and lightly tapped the back of his knee. He fell forward onto the pavement. The third man shoved Mina and tried to run again. She caught his arm and twisted it behind his back, easily. Please stop, she said. He didn't, so she knocked him unconscious. The leader scrambled back to his feet, breathing hard. What are you? He demanded. I looked down at him with a small, innocent smile. Someone who doesn't break bread. He glanced toward the truck full of stolen medicine. That old man was dead anyway, he muttered. I crouched beside him. No, he wasn't. I grabbed his collar and dragged him to the body of the doorway. Look at him, I said. The man tried to pull away, but Nova stepped forward slightly. He stopped resisting. That man is protecting something people need, I continued. Medicine saves lives. Your greed took one. The leader spat near my feet. Survival, he said. I tilted my head. No, that word means something different. I stood up and helped him to his feet. Here's what we'll do, I said softly. You will apologize to him. He laughed. To a corpse? Yes. He looked at Nova and Mina, hoping they would object. Neither moved. He looked back at me. You serious? Very. His voice turned bitter. Sorry, old man. I shook my head. No. Mean it. He stared at me in disbelief. You're insane. Perhaps, but you will try again. His anger grew until it cracked. Fine. He looked down at the dead shop owner. I'm sorry, he muttered. That was closer. I stood silently for a moment. Then I picked up the knife again. The man suddenly realized what was happening. Wait, he said. I stepped forward calmly. Greed killed him. I pushed the blade through his chest in one smooth motion. His expression froze in shock. The street became quiet again. Mina looked away for a moment. Nova simply nodded once. The second man, whose hand was still trapped in the truck door, started crying. Please, we were just following him, he said. I pulled the knife free. Then leave. Both remaining men ran without another word. Mina knelt beside the old shopkeeper. I wish we got here sooner, she said quietly. I placed the knife on the counter inside the store. So do I. Nova began loading the medicine back into the building. We'll distribute it later, he said. I stepped outside again and looked up at the empty sky. Cities are strange places when they die. They echo. Every footstep feels louder. Every decision feels heavier. Mina joined me. You always look calm, she said. I am calm, even when you kill someone? Yes. She studied my face. Does it bother you? I thought about that. Greed bothers me. She nodded slowly. Nova walked out carrying the last crate. We should move, he said. People will hear about this. He was right. In a collapsing like the scent of greed drifting through the wind. I stepped down from the rail again. "We should go there," I said. Mina looked worried. "What if it's dangerous?" I smiled at her. "It probably is." Nova checked the road ahead. "Then we should hurry." We started walking again toward the rising smoke. After a few minutes, Mina spoke quietly. "You called us the Legion earlier." "Yes." "That sounds big," she said. "It will be." She looked at Nova. "There are only 3 of us." "For now," I said. The wind carried distant sounds toward us then. Not gunfire, not shouting. Something worse, screaming. Nova stopped walking. "That town is not just burning," he said. "Someone is doing that on purpose." I felt that strange scent again. Greed, close now. I looked at both of them. "Stay close." We crested the hill overlooking the town just as the sun finally vanished. Flames lit the streets below. Figures moved through the smoke, dragging people from houses, looting, laughing, and at the center of it all stood someone watching calmly, like they owned the destruction. Even from far away, I could feel it clearly. The greed in that person was deeper than the others. Mina whispered beside me, "What do we do?" I smiled softly. "Now the Legion begins." And then the figure in the burning street slowly turned and looked directly at us on the hill.